Hey boys and girls, good afternoon everybody. I'm going to read you this storybook. It is called Beauty and the Beast, Getting to Know You. And there's Belle. So let's get on with the story. Belle placed a blanket over the sleeping beast as Miss Potts, the teapot, Cotsworth, the mantle cloth, and Lumiere, the candle broom, looked on. Maybe the beast has a heart after all, thought Belle. That day he had rescued her from a pack of wolves. Even though the beast was angry with Belle for leaving the castle, he had risked his life to save hers. Maybe I could try harder to be his friend, she told herself. Everyone was hopeful that Belle and the beast would fall in love, so the spell cast by an enchantress that had turned the castle's inhabitants into household objects and the prince into the beast would be broken. Then they'd be human again. So Belle is taking good care of the beast. And Cotsworth, Miss Teapot, and Lumiere were also happy because Belle loves the beast and the beast loves Belle. The night, as Belle sat by the fire reading, Miss Potts gathered Lumiere, Cogsworth, and her son, Chip, and went to find the beast. He was in the west wing, gloomily staring at the rose the enchantress had left behind. Master, it is such a chilly night, she said. Why not have a nice hot drink in front of the fireplace? I'm sure Belle will love some company. I'm sure she doesn't want my company, the beast grumbled. Now, come along, insisted Miss Potts. You never know. Surely it is better than being shut up here all by yourself. Reluctantly, the beast followed. So the beast is up in the west wing all by himself. Probably because he doesn't want to bother Belle and get her mad. So Miss Potts is doing whatever it takes to help him, too, to join the group by the fireplace. It's like he won't be by himself. He stomped into the sitting room and settled into a chair. Good evening, Belle said. The beast did his best to smile as he picked up his cup of cocoa. Belle went back to reading until she was startled by a loud slurp. She looked over at the beast, who had a large chocolate mustache on his shaggy face. After a nudge from Miss Potts, the beast stopped slurping and slumped in his chair. Miss Potts tried to change the subject. Why don't you read to us, dear? She suggested to Belle. All right, replied Belle. She turned to a new story in a collection of fairy tales she was reading. So look, the beast is enjoying a cup of hot chocolate, and you know what beasts do. They slurp and they slump and yeah, but at least he's enjoying a story time with Belle and getting to know her. See, there's the beast, and there's Belle reading a storybook. Once upon a time, there was an old woodcutter, Belle began. That sounds so boring, interrupted the beast. Perhaps you were more patient, Belle said, but Miss Potts gently interrupted. Is there another story you could tell us? she asked. Belle flipped through the pages until she found a tale filled with fire-breathing dragons and brave knights. The beast sat on the edge of his seat, listening to every word. It pleased Belle to see that the beast enjoyed a good story as much as she did. She also noticed that when he drank his cocoa, he was careful not to slurp. Hi, the beast. And there's Belle reading the story. But he's making sure he doesn't slurp on this hot cocoa. Silly beast. The next day, Lemire and Cogsworth decided to play matchmaker, too. What a beautiful day for a walk, Cogsworth exclaimed after breakfast. Belle and the beast looked out the window. It was gray, cold, and windy. Belle looked bewildered. Do you really think so? She asked. What is the point of taking a walk? Challenged the beast. Walk is useful only when you have somewhere to go. But before Belle and the beast knew it, they were bundled up and herded outdoors. There's something more romantic than a walk in the snow, said Lemire, dreamily as he watched the two disappear into the woods. So now they're going to go walking into the woods in this beautiful snow day. They're so much in love with each other. The beast and Belle walked along in an uncomfortable silence. Then they came to a mud puddle, wide and deep. Belle stood there, deciding how to make it across without becoming completely drenched. A gentleman will carry me over, or at the very least spread his cloak across it, Belle thought. Suppressing a giggle at the very idea. Clearly the beast will do neither. Oh well, here goes, Belle said to herself as she waded across the puddle. Her skirt, coat, and boots were soon covered in mud. Hi, beast. He did not keep Belle clean. Look, she dirty herself in the muddy puddle, and the beast is not helping her. Hi, beast. If he wants true love, he has to earn her heart. The wind picked up, and all at once it started to snow. Looking up at the darkening sky, we better get back while we can still see where we're going. Quite unexpectedly, the beast took Belle's hand. Follow me, he commanded, leading her through the blizzard. Belle was relieved when, a few minutes later, they arrived safely at the castle. Lemire and Cogsworth were watching out the window as the two approached, Belle's hand firmly grasping the beast's paw. How romantic, exclaimed Lemire. So now they're returning to the castle where it's all warm. And look, they're holding hands. Now that's true love. A few minutes later, Miss Potts and the wardrobe were helping Belle out of her muddy clothes. It looks as if you and the master are getting to know each other better, said Miss Potts. Belle hesitated. I suppose, she answered. There's so much about him that's gruff and rude, and yet he's full of surprises. In another part of the castle, Cotsworth and the mirror were helping the beast dry off. Did you have a nice time? Cotsworth asked. Well, the beast began, Belle can be rather boring and proper, but then she walked through the mud without complaining. And she didn't act scared at all. When we got caught in the storm, she's kinda surprising. So now there's the beast getting dressed up. Ah, beast. And there's Belle getting dressed up. This is a regular storybook. That afternoon, Miss Potts prepared a lovely lunch and served it in the greenhouse. She thought the beautiful room was the perfect romantic setting for the pair's budding friendship. Remember, Master, the mirror said to the beast beforehand. Young ladies appreciate politeness. Try to be understanding. Belle bathed Miss Potts before Belle went into the greenhouse. The master's manners aren't always what they should be, but he's trying. The dining companions entered the greenhouse and sat stiffly at the table. Belle forced a smile, and the beast managed an unconvincing grin. Both were tired of trying to be on their best behavior. Yeah. That's so romantic and lovely. When Miss Potts had gone, the beast began to devour the chicken like nom 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 nom. And after Belle made a big display of picking up her napkin and placing it in her lap, the beast hurriedly grabbed his own napkin and did the same. Isn't this lunch delicious? Asked Belle. Answered the beast, his mouth stuffed with food. Just then the beast noticed his napkin on the floor. As he dug down to retrieve it, he knocked the table over, sending the lunch crashing to the floor. A roll even flew off his plate and landed in Belle's lap. Even the beast knew throwing food was not polite. He was about to apologize when he saw a playful smile spread across Belle's face. To his surprise, she pitched the roll right back at him. Oh, that's lovely. They're having lunch and the beast, he's being very beasty. Now he's being dirty. Look at all that food. Beast. When Miss Potts, Lemire, and Cotsworth came to check on the pair, they couldn't believe their eyes. Food was everywhere, and even more peculiar. Belle and the Beast were laughing. Ha 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 ha! What is going on? Cotsworth whispered. Sorry, what is going on? He pushed the door open a bit more so they could all get a better look. Maybe they're in love, the mirror said hopefully. When people fall in love, they always seem to behave a bit strangely. Miss Potts smiled knowingly. I think they discovered what we forgot. The real way to make friends is to relax and be yourself. Yep, that's true. And they made a big mess and they're laughing. That night, Belle and the Beast shared a perfectly wonderful dinner. After all, Belle patiently taught the Beast how to dance. He listened carefully to everything she told him, and soon the two were gliding across the dance floor in step with each other at last. And that is the end of the story of Beauty and the Beast. Well, I guess true love comes when it comes. But for Beauty and the Beast, they know each other very good. They became friends, and then the friendship grew stronger, and they started going out, walking in the woods in the beautiful snow, and then walking back home, enjoying a good story, drinking hot drinking hot chocolate with the mirror, Miss Potts, and Codsworth, and they were helping them to fall in love with each other. And that is the end of the story. I love dreams coming true because for Belle, it did come true. I'll be right back with my buddies, boys and girls.